How's everybody?
Good.
Happy Restoration Day. Okay, how's that? Is the volume good?
Yeah.
The yellow shirt, can you hear me way out there? It needs to be louder. It needs to go up, they say. Okay, he's going to turn it up. Let me just say welcome to the Give Us Liberty bus tour in LA. Thank you so much for coming out. I want to first just kind of acknowledge the group that put it together here in LA. This coalition of pro-freedom Tea Party conservative, South Central LA Tea Party. I am the founder of South Central LA Tea Party. NorCal Tea Party, LA, Santa Monica Tea Party, 405-605 Tea Party patrons, Hancock Park patrons, TPAC, and the California Tax Limitation Committee. They all put this together for today, and I want to say thank you so much for making it happen. I do appreciate it. We are fed up with the IRS going after the Tea Party organizations and the conservatives. We are tired of high taxes. We are fed up with them taking our freedom away, and we've decided that we ain't gonna take it no more. We're not gonna take it anymore. What we're gonna do now is, I'd like for you to stand for prayer. We're gonna have prayer. Father God, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for this day. I thank you for bringing us all together. I ask, Father, that your will be done. I ask that our eyes are open, that we may see, our ears that we may hear, and our hearts that we may understand. I ask, Father, that you give us the strength and courage to fight this spiritual battle. We realize that it is a spiritual battle between good versus evil, right versus wrong. And I ask for your courage to take us forward with this. I ask, Father, that each speaker bring us something that would enhance our life and give us an example of what we can do to work together. I ask that your will be done on earth as it is in heaven through us. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen.
Amen. We're going to pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For all. Everybody and their mama. Okay, you can sit down now. We're going to have Haley Orion come up with the national anthem. Come on down, Haley.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice to see some free faces out there. Thank you. You can stand up and sing this with me, please. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight of the ramparts we watched was so gallantly streaming, and the rock still there? Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. You're beautiful. Thank you. I'm going to have Vince Gonzalez come on. Thank you. This song, I've spent a lot of time singing with our armed forces overseas, about 13 years. And what I learned about that is that they have the hard job. And we do a lot back home, but they're doing so much out there. And I wrote a lot of songs out there when I first got there, and it was kind of like fun stuff. And then I saw people really getting tired and just trying to really do what's good and working hard and sometimes just running against the wind and swimming against the river. And, this song was co-written by Marianne Rose Smith and myself. It's called America, I Still Believe in You. And we've written it in hopes of encouragement for those who are still just really trying hard here and trying to fight the good fight. And when you're burning place, I'm crying out for rain, and you have lost your dreams far away across these shining seas. And when your spacious skies get clouded dark from lies, if others try your faith and you lose your way, I will stand by you and say, I believe in you, America. I still do. Your colors of red and white, blue stars that shine so bright. Our flag stands for truth, America. When you've done all you could for the sake of brotherhood, uniting hands across the sea, bringing hope and harmony for all the world to see. I'm standing by your side, Tim Donnelly's side, with love as my guide. If you feel like giving up and you've seen too much, I will stand by you and say, you know it, let's sing it. I believe in you, America. I still do. Your colors are red and white, blue stars, you shine so bright. Our flag stands for truth, America. 'Cause I remember those who gave their lives for the freedom around the world today. And this is why I say, I believe in you, America. I still do. Your colors are red and white, blue stars, you shine so bright. Our flag stands for truth, America. 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 I still believe in each and every single one of you. And I'm going to plug real quick. I've been on the road a little bit, and I've been listening to this great speaker who's truly, truly touched my heart and given me hope. And his name is Timothy Donnelly. Thank you.
Okay, that was good, huh?
Great.
All right. Last weekend I was up in Sacramento at for the Tax Day rally put on by NorCal. It was really, really good. I want to bring up Stuart Dodge right now from NorCal Tea Party. Come on down, Stuart. Come on up.
Thank you, friend. Hey guys, how's everybody? I love all the smiling faces. Those of you who are not smiling, smile. This is a beautiful day. We're in America. We can't be in a better place ever. This is the only sanctuary left in the world for real, genuine freedom, personal freedoms, and we're losing them. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I want to tell you what NorCal Tea Party is all about, just shortly. We're the ones with the bus. You may have seen the bus just go by. Give us a Liberty bus tour. So we've got 15 stops in 12 days all over California. We're out here educating people. We're motivating them. We're letting them know how important each and every group is to the big puzzle. You guys are a part of the puzzle. Now, you may not think you're doing anything, but there's groups like you all over this country. There's 30 million of you in this country. We did incredible things in 2010, and we're going to do better things in 2014. This is a last-ditch effort. It's one of these situations where you're going to have all these candidates coming up. They need your help. You either pay now or you pay later, because these socialists and communists are coming for you. We need to take care of our youth. The future of our kids is at risk. We've got to look towards them. Think about the most important person in your life is. It's your kids. We raise them up. We take care of them. We get them off to college. And now we're going to push them out the door into a world that's filled with socialism and communism. We need to start thinking twice about what's going on out there. And each and every one of us has to change. When you get up in the morning and you mark your list of what you need to take care of, put down, I need to take care of my kids and I need to change my country for them. Now, we'll do everything we can with that bus, and we'll meet all of you folks. We'll be here for you. We've got some great speakers for you. Tim Donnelly standing over here. He can change this state. He can change the damage that's been going on because of Brown. Okay? Tim Donnelly, will you please come on up? He's a great man. I'm seeing him everywhere now. I'm getting a chance to hear him speak. I talked to him personally. I know who he is. I know he is the right candidate, and he is governor. He will be governor of this great state shortly. Tim Donnelly.
Thank you, Stuart. I think that 2014 is the year that we're going to take back California. You know what? This is a beautiful sight here today. You know, we are standing here and legally, lawfully protesting our government. And we are able to do that because of the sacrifice of those who are buried not 2 blocks from here, who have given the ultimate sacrifice that we might be free. Do we have any veterans here today? Thank you for your service. You know, I gotta say, there is something wrong with government when you come in the Liberty Express and they won't let you park. How many of you had that problem this morning? I feel your pain. I gotta tell you, I am excited. I have been traveling up and down the state of California. I have been taking pictures out of the window of the bus, out of the window of planes, trains, and automobiles. And we have the most beautiful state in the union. It's all right, you can clap. I came to this state with $300 in my pocket when I was 19 years old. And I will never forget the day that I left Michigan. I'm the third oldest of 14 kids. We lived in a 4-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom home. Yeah, that 0.5 was real important in the morning. About half my family was helping me push start my VW Bug. And I turned to wave goodbye, but they were inside fighting over my room. My dad chased me halfway down the street and he gave me $2 in quarters. And he said, son, whatever you do, don't call home. He said, get yourself a Coke somewhere between here and California. You know, I should have been nervous. I should have been worried. But I knew where I was going. I was going to California. I was going to the land of opportunity. You know, I went through a whole lot of states. Some of them were pretty. I even went through Texas. Didn't much feel like staying. But when I crossed into California, something changed. When I got down to the beach and saw my first California sunset, I fell in love. I knew I was home. I knew I was in a place where the only limitation on your dreams is what you could imagine and how hard you were willing to work. And you know, within a decade, I had met and married the most amazing woman in the state of California, my wife, Rowena. And she was a widow with 2 young boys. Yes, give her a round of applause. She deserves it. We added 3, including my son Daniel, who's back there holding the Tim Donnelly sign. We're attracting the youth vote every day with him, let me tell you. You know, we started a business, and we were living the California dream. I was in plastics. Remember that movie, The Graduate? Well, I took it literally. And then along came the government, and they regulated me out of business by driving my customers out of the state of California. And you know what? I want my state back. I want my freedom back. I want my boys to have the same opportunity that I had to live the California dream without having to leave the state of California to do it. You know, as I travel this state, almost everywhere I go, there are people who are thinking about leaving the state, or they know someone, a friend, a neighbor, or even their children who have moved and left California to seek opportunity elsewhere. You know, and I hope that this is the last 4 years of Jerry Brown, because his reign started 40 years ago, and he took California from first to last in everything that matters. Remember when our education system was the envy of the world? And now we are circling the drain, 48th in reading, 49th in math. We are competing with Alabama and Mississippi and losing. We shouldn't be losing at anything in California. We should be number 1. Come on, you can say it. We need to put California on a pathway to prosperity. So in my first day as governor, I will declare a moratorium on all new laws that contain restrictions on your freedom, on your business, and on your constitutional civil rights. I will use the same bully pulpit that Jerry Brown used to raise your taxes to lower them. Because the key to prosperity is freedom. And we need private sector job creation. And in order to do that, we got to get the government out of the way. It's that simple. You know, Jerry Brown claims that he has created 1 million jobs. Well, I haven't seen any evidence of private sector job creation, so they must all be government jobs. And when government grows, liberty shrinks. And when government expands, opportunity contracts. Or it hits the highway and heads to Texas. And you know, in the state of California, we need to tap the Monterey Shale and unleash California's potential. We need to frack our way to prosperity and drill our way to prosperity rather than sitting on an ocean of oil and importing it from our enemies. You know that USC has done a study and said that would create up to 3 million new jobs in the state of California and $25 to $30 billion in new revenues. That means we could get California working again and start paying down that mountain of debt instead of just standing there staring at it. Have you heard of the miracle in North Dakota? They tapped the Bakken Shale. Now their unemployment rate is under 3%, and they don't have a governor there who's trying to put an artificial floor under the economy known as the minimum wage. Because McDonald's is paying $20 an hour plus a signing bonus. That's the kind of problem I want in California. And the only immigration problem that I want to talk about is a tsunami of U-Hauls coming back from Rick Perry's, Texas, coming home to California. But that will never happen if we don't fix education. As you know, we have millions of California students who are trapped in failing schools. Your zip code should not determine your future. We need common sense education reform, not Common Core. And that starts by respecting teachers. We need a fair way to evaluate teachers so that under a Donnelly administration, we can pay the good teachers more. We can pay the great teachers the most, and then have them travel around the state and teach their teaching methods and seminars to other teachers, just like we do in the business world. And then, if they have bought into the system and they agree it's a fair way to evaluate, they will drag their union kicking and screaming, and we will be able to transition those teachers who never should have spent a single moment in a classroom with our kids, and we can help them find whatever they were meant to do with their lives. And that way we put the students first, and we get California back on a pathway to success. Because you know, most Californians did not need a government poll to tell them what 72% of Americans have figured out, that government has become the greatest threat to your future. And an education that could never be more true. That's an issue we can snatch back from the Democrats. Aren't you tired of being ruled over by Marxist progressives parading as Democrats? You know, my grandparents were Democrats, and these people bear no resemblance to them. But I believe we have an incredible opportunity right now, right here in California in 2014. You know, they have tried to divide us for so long based on race, based on what we do for a living, based on how well off we are. They have tried to striate America into classes. But you know what? We were all created equal. And every single human being is a child of God. So you know what? The only colors we should worry about are the red, the white, and the blue, because that is the banner of liberty. And I have heard people say that Democrats are the enemy. Democrats are not the enemy. Tyranny is the enemy of freedom. Democrats are our friends, they're our neighbors, they're people we work with and go to church with. Most importantly, Democrats are Americans. You know what? We can unite a divided majority on American values. Hard work, personal responsibility, and above all, freedom. Heck, with the advent of Obamacare and Common Core and all these other things, Democrats are potential future Republican voters, or at least Tim Donnelly voters. You know, when the government becomes the greatest threat, when the government has more control over your business, over your private property, and over your child's education, that's wrong. When the government can put a gun to your head and force you to buy a product you don't want, and then force you to buy a better version of that same product for your neighbor, that's immoral. When the government can dump violent criminals and dangerous predators onto your streets and into your neighborhood and then make you feel like a criminal because you want to buy a gun to defend yourself, that's un-American. But when the government becomes the greatest threat to the very rights it was formed to protect, that's tyranny. And we don't have any modern day words for tyranny, but we have a whole lot of modern day examples. We have the NSA spying on us, the IRS trying to silence us, especially you guys with the Tea Party shirts on. I guarantee you, you're on a list. Let's give him a round. I love it. I love it. This campaign is not about whether or not we're going to be ruled by the right or by the left in 2014. This campaign is about whether we're going to take a stand for right over wrong. You know what? We can do this. But I can't do this alone. And at this point in the speech, most political candidates will reach in their pocket, pull out an envelope, and ask you for money. And that is a very effective model. But that's not all I'm going to ask you for. The maximum you can give me is $27,200, and if you can write that check, you're meeting me on the bus. But I didn't get here with those kind of checks. Every one of you can do something, and that's why you're here giving up your Saturday in defense of freedom. God bless you for that. So I want you to prayerfully consider what you can do. Get an envelope in your hand. Daniel will be walking around handing them out. Fill it out. Put your name, your information. You can also volunteer to help. I need you to spread the word. I need you to talk to people. I need you to invite me into your community, and I need you to walk door to door and introduce me to your neighbors. Doesn't matter whether you can give me a dime, it matters whether you can give me an hour. And you know what? Then I'm going to ask you to do the most important thing. I'm going to ask you to pray. Because when I ran for office the first time, I had more people praying for me than voting for me. And I'm going to ask you not only to pray for me and my family, but also for our great state and our country. Because the real question that is going to be answered in 2014 is one day when we're looking into the eyes of our children's children, whether or not we tell them stories about an epic battle that we waged to defend freedom and the American way of life, or whether we just tell them stories about a place called California that used to be free. That is the question. You are the answer. God bless you for being here today. God bless this great country of ours, and Godspeed. Help me retire Jerry Brown and elect Tim Donnelly for governor. Thank you very much.
I would say he is the man. You know, he not only talks the talk, but he walks the walk. He's been assemblyman for a few years now. We know what he's capable of doing. We know what he is doing. We do need him to rescue this state, but he can't do it without you folks. Like he said, give him your prayers. He needs the money, though. He's fighting a big cash cow in Brown. So do the best you can. And because I'm talking about money, I can tell you right now that the bus that you've seen coming by, the Give Me Liberty bus that keeps running by here, we don't run on fuel, we run on T-shirts over there. So if you want to go look at our T-shirts and buy one of our T-shirts over there, it'd be great. We got some nice young ladies over there with big smiles on their faces. And we're going to have a comedian come in. He's a comedian. He's a author. And he's right over here in the corner, and he's got some great books. So you might want to go over and talk to him. He'll be up. You're going to love him, so stick around for him. But right now I want to introduce another great speaker. This is Brad Dacus. Now he's the founder of Pacific Justice Institute. And, you know, if you've got a school that's in trouble, or you got a church that's in trouble because of the federal government, because of state bureaucracies, you need to call him. It's like Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call? You call Brad Dacus. He comes out, he defends. He has never, ever lost. So come on up, Brad.
All right, Brad. Thank you very much. First, I want to thank the prior speaker, Tim Donnelly. That man is an encouragement to me, because if he gets in Sacramento, if he gets the governor's spot, my job will be a lot easier, because I won't have all these crazy bills to be fighting as much, because we'll have someone with the common sense and understands common people with common issues and common values, and that's what he represents. Folks, he's the real deal, so I want to salute him once again. Also, I want us to recognize something real important that he brought out, and that is that this is all of us working together. This is not about the left, it's not about the right, it's not about the moderates, it's not about Republicans, it's not about Democrats. Folks, this is about civil liberties. This is about freedom. This is about liberty. This is what we're talking about here today. And that's what I love about the Tea Party movement. It doesn't have an R, it doesn't have a D after it. It's about liberty and the ability for us to take back our country, for us to be a nation of the people, by the people, and for the people, and not for the government. Now, we've seen tyranny. We at Pacific Justice have seen tyranny. Right now, recently, we've noticed it on a federal level. We found out the IRS is continuing to attack non-profit organizations that don't have a particular perspective that they agree with. That's not even up for debate. That is happening. And we see nonprofits. I know of nonprofits that have been hit and attacked personally. I know our nonprofit, the Pacific Justice Institute, we received a notice that we had not filed our 990. And so we were going to be levied a $9,000 fine. They came back and they said, oh, no, you actually are going to owe us $50,000 because you didn't file the prior year 990. We said, oh, yes, we did. Here's our records. You know, it took over 9 months before the IRS came back with a letter that says, oh, we're sorry, you were right, we just misfiled it. You don't owe us anything. That is the kind of tyranny, and we see it happening over and over again, folks. We need to bring back the integrity to our system. It's not about Republicans, it's not about Democrats. It's about a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We also saw the issue dealing with the new policies, as was mentioned earlier by the distinguished Tim Donnelly, about the government trying to silence nonprofits. Not as a matter of accident, which is what happened with the Tea Party organizations. Now, the attitude now from Washington, D.C. is to make this as a matter of policy. They want to, instead of making things right, they want to make this standard operating procedure to silence nonprofits. And that's serious. Then we've also seen issues dealing with recently here in California. There's some legislation passed, and you may have a different perspective on this, where it says a boy can go into a girl's bathroom, a locker room, showers, just because he says that day he feels like he's a girl. And there may be boys who have these issues, folks, I'm sure, and women who have girls who, we need to love them, we need to accept them. We need to have sensible policies, right? Most people agree with that, and let them have a place to change separately. But this violates, the privacy, fundamental privacy rights of young boys and girls not to have to undress and shower in front of the opposite biological sex. I think that's pretty common sense, don't you? Yeah. Well, there's a large number of people in California got together and got their signatures so we could put this on the ballot. Well, the Secretary of State's office says we're not going to count 2 entire counties, Tulare and Monroe County. Why? Because he says, well, they really weren't turned in the right way. They were turned in on time. That's what counts. We brought it. We went for a judge. A judge declared, yes, they were turned in on time. Secretary of State, count those ballots. But now they're still fighting because now they're not releasing the information for us to go through all the 130,000 that were invalidated. They're not letting us go through those. So we went into court, and the judge says, we're not going to let you subpoena this information unless you have a written consent from every one of the signatures. Well, we said, Your Honor, we can't get that written consent because we don't have their names and addresses. The state's not releasing that. The judge says, yeah, you're right, that's a real problem, real quandary. I can't help you. I rule in favor of the counties to arbitrarily decide for themselves what's valid and what's invalid, and not allowing us, we the people, to have any say or scrutiny to verify what they're doing is valid or not. I think that's corruption, folks. And we are now announcing today, as of yesterday, we announced that we are appealing this now to the appellate court. We're filing an emergency writ on behalf of we, the people, to have our voice heard. There's some other things I can talk about, too. I don't have much time, but I'm just going to sum them up. Homeschooling was challenged 4 years ago. We went into court. 3 judges said that homeschooling is illegal unless you're a credentialed teacher. Make a long story short, they reheard the argument. We argued the case, and they say now homeschooling is legal and it's now protected in California, which means, folks, we can win. We just have to step up to the plate and hit that ball back. Yes. We can win. It just takes that kind of courage to preserve our freedoms. Red light cameras were in Temecula, Hot Springs area. 2 women said, we want to stop it, so they petitioned to put it on the ballot. A lawsuit was filed to stop it and say that the people do not have a right to have something like that on the ballot. They do not have a right to have the final say whether they want red light cameras in their district, in their community. We went into court and the judge said, oh yes they do. And they won. And that is, folks, is about we the people, from the federal level to the state level to a local level. That's what we at Pacific Justice are doing. By the way, if you, how many of you got one of these sheets? You guys get these sheets, these white sheets? Was passed out. You guys get these white sheets? If you haven't, raise your hand right now, and she'll hand one to you right now. Raise your hand real big. Okay, good. If you could, hello, over there? Okay, good. I think you saw your hands. Thank you very much. Appreciate that so much. She'll get those to you. Please fill that out so we keep you updated. We at Pacific Justice do our work without charge. You need our help. We have 5 offices in California, over 500 affiliate attorneys. We're here to serve you. But let us never forget, folks, and then hand those to me when you're done. Let's never forget, in the conclusion, it's not about the left. It's not about the right. It's not about those in the middle. It's not about Republicans, Democrats. Folks, this is much deeper than that. It's about freedom for our children, for our posterity. Look at the children that are here. The question is, will they have the freedom that we enjoyed? Will they have the America that our people on Veterans Day, Memorial Day fought for overseas? Or will they have an America that we surrendered? Let this be heard loud and clear to one and all. We for liberty will never surrender. Thank you very much.
We have some great people here. He defends more people than you can imagine. He is so important. His group is so important. He's been in the trenches for years doing this, long before the Tea Party came along. So we've got people that have been fighting this battle for years and years and years. And 5 years ago, we the people, we really did begin to see what was going on, and we did stand up. I'm bringing up another speaker, and her name is Bonnie McAdams. She's my older sister. Now she's going to talk about white-haired old people and how we have to unite, but she dyed her hair. Okay, here's my sister. She's a great woman. Thank you.
Doggone him. He does that every single time. But I look younger, don't I? It's amazing when you have the microphone, you kind of take control. It's empowering. You can't hear me? Can you now? Shall I get closer? Okay. Let me tell you who I really am. I am one ticked off grandma. I am tired of people making decisions for me that don't represent me and are not protecting our children or the American people in this country. We've got people we've elected in a state government. We've got them in our federal government. They do not believe in liberty. They don't believe in freedom, and they're taking away our property rights. They're taking away our free speech rights. They're taking away our gun rights. I am tired of it. I am tired of it.
Right.
Look, they have lied to us. Can you hear me now? They lied to us about Benghazi. When in our entire history have we left people behind? 4 dead Americans. That's a travesty. And I'm telling you, they think we're going to let it go? We're like a dog with a bone. They're not getting away with this. By the time we're done, we're going to find out who did it, what they did, when they did it, and who's responsible, and what we're going to do with them. And we're not leaving them behind. We've got the NSA. Oh my God, don't even use your phone. How about the IRS? Lied to us about that too, didn't they? They haven't gone away. Our Tea Party, the NorCal Tea Party, is the one that filed the lawsuit against us, a class action lawsuit against the IRS. You come on, baby, bring on this fight because we're ready. We're going to take them all on. We are tired of it. Now, Ginny and Del Rapini, our leaders, about $39,000 they've had to spend so far defending the Tea Party and themselves. Well, the government, in its infinite wisdom, has decided now they're going to go after them personally. They have put a lien on their property on a tax bill that was paid last April 12th. They have the receipt of them getting it. They've got the check canceled. Do you think you can call anybody? Do you think you can write anybody? Do you think you can go down to these offices and get past the armed guards? No. No, you can't. So this is what's going on. You've heard Brad Dacus. He's talking about it. Look, I'm no different than any of you. I'm 71 years old. My resume looks like a novel. But I started at 15. I had my first job. It was at a hardware store for 2 weeks, and it was inventory. And my job was to count nuts and bolts. It was a little boring. But I remember getting my check. I remember that. 76 bucks. I thought I was rich then, 15, that's a lot of money. So then I went from that, and I got a job as a legal secretary, because that's what I wanted to do. High school education. You could do that then. Can our kids do it now? No. You know what the unemployment rate is across this country for our teens? 25%. And if you are a black youth in this country, it's over 40. This is a travesty. It's a travesty that we've let this happen, and there are people making money off of keeping these kids out of work. We've got to stand up. We've got to stand up. So, legal secretary, go to work for Frank Kellogg Richardson. Governor Reagan then, who I got to meet on several occasions, decided that he wanted to appoint the judge that I was working for to the 3rd District Court of Appeal, presiding justice. So we go to Sacramento, we're in there, we get to the Library and Courts building, and it was really an amazing place to be. Then when Governor Reagan becomes president, he appoints my judge to the California State Supreme Court. I mean, I went from counting nuts and bolts to the California State Supreme Court. This is a fabulous country. We can do anything we want. But we've got to fight for it every bit of the way, especially for these guys, the kids. They've got to have the same opportunities that we have. So what are we going to do? Are we going to leave our kids with $17 trillion in debt? No. Say no. No, you don't want that debt, do you? No, I don't want you to have that debt. This is a travesty. Are we going to give them an education that is so bad that they're coming out of high school and they can't even read? No. No, we're not going to do that, because we're not going to stand for it. This is America. This is America. I can't even believe that I'm standing here. I never thought in my lifetime that I would say people do not want liberty for us or want to take it away. So let's talk about it. What are we going to do? It's a two-party system. Democrats, Republicans, right? Should be. We should be at a table and fighting each other and deciding what is best for the country and the people, not for these fools that are in office. But Democrat Party has been taken over. It was my family's party. Taken over. Socialists posing Democrats. Republican Party, oh my God, those idiots think we're the enemy. 2 more brain cells, they'd be stepping up the idiot. Good God. So what do? I looked at the Democrat Party. We can't take them over, but we can take over stupid. So this is what we've done in our county. We took over the Republican Central Committee. That was our first step. Now we're after the rest of them, and I'm telling you, they're looking at us and going, holy smokes, what is going on? So can you hear it? It's a rumble. You know those earthquakes? Not earthquakes, it's the American people standing up. We're getting ready. We're headed for the polls. It's going to be a stampede and a revolution, and leading it's going to be all the old white-haired ladies like me, because you don't mess with grandma. Thank you.
You might notice that we're really kind of compressing some of these things. We're making these guys speak real quick because we don't want to force you to sit there for hours after hours. But that was an angry grandma, and it's really cool. That is my sister, and she's extremely dynamic. And usually when they talk about me, they say, oh yeah, you're Bonnie's brother. And I accept that. I love it. I love that role. So that's really great. We've been really serious, so we need a little humor. Would you say we need some humor? We do. A little comedy, a little humor. So Eric Golub is going to come in.
I'm changing my pants.
Oh, no. Don't do it again, Eric. He's changing his pants.
I'm done.
Are you really? You're done?
I'm done. I changed my pants.
But do we really want you to step out from behind there?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Okay, come on around then. Oh, you're coming up that way. Okay. Eric Golub, guys, make us laugh, dude.
How many of you gun-toting, Bible-thumping, flag-waving, tax-hating, freedom-loving patriots are going to take back this country and in 2014 rip those gavels out of Harry Reid and Jerry Brown's cold, arthritic hands? Now give Harry Reid some credit, okay? Give Harry Reid some credit. He did a fantastic job as the lead character in Weekend at Bernie's. And the reason he got so excited by what was going on in Nevada, he thought it was a trip to the Bunny Ranch. Somebody had to explain it to him. Now, our freedoms are under assault, but here's a couple things I'm proud of, okay? I actually started out, I was one of the very first 6 people who got through to the Obama exchange on the very first day. I said, "Is this the Obama exchange?" They said, "Yes." I said, "I'd like to exchange Obama for a good president." I got the message in the mail, declined. And I know we had a government shutdown recently. It affected me very, very deeply. I don't know if it affected you guys at all. Here's how I explain it to people. The government shutdown was like my ex-girlfriend threatening to give me the silent treatment while I'm watching football. The government shutdown was like the French going on strike. How can you tell? And it was not a government shutdown, it was an executive branch shutdown. Barack Obama took his marbles and went home. So if it was an executive branch shutdown and it was Barack Obama's executive branch, why was he on TV talking every day? By the time he was done, I didn't care about a government shutdown. I just wanted a government shut up. Now, administrative note, this is not a Los Angeles-based fashion statement. I recently had LASIK eye surgery, one of the best things I ever did. I could see everything crystal clearly. So the question then becomes, what do you call somebody named Eric who can see everything crystal clearly? Answer, you don't call him Attorney General. And if I hear one more time, if we want to reduce gun violence in America, here's the solution. Mr. Obama, sir, tell your Attorney General to stop gun running. And if I hear guns and schools and death and the only solution is an outright ban, I'm going to say, yeah, you know what, you're right, outright ban. Let's just shut down the public schools. Now, people say you can't make fun of President Obama. They say he's like actor Will Smith. He's so cool, calm, collected, doesn't get rattled, nothing to make fun of. For those who say we can't make fun of President Obama, this is still America, so I say, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we should. Yes, we absolutely will. And the message you delivered in 2010 and will again this November is, Mr. President, no, you can't. No, you won't. And no, you don't. There is tons to make fun of President Obama. They make him out like actor Will Smith, so cool and calm. President Obama is nothing like Will Smith. I saw the movies Independence Day and Men in Black. Will Smith secured the borders and took care of the aliens. They want everything to be about identity politics. Call me a racist. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't care. I am demanding to see Joe Biden's birth certificate. I want proof that he's from planet Earth. Dennis Rodman in North Korea is less of a threat than John Kerry in Israel, Barack Obama on Iran, Hillary Clinton on Benghazi, Libya, or Joe Biden being sent anywhere. Joe Biden is the Barney Fife of the administration. I was at the Republican and Democratic conventions. I went to the Democratic convention because I wanted to see them in their natural habitat. And this deranged guy, he got past the Secret Service, the fire chief, the police chief, all the security, got past the rope line, somehow made it on stage and grabbed the microphone, and it turned out to be Joe Biden. And remember when the left had that debate on whether or not to believe in God, and it was a close vote? I was there. When Joe Biden started speaking, there was not a single atheist in that entire auditorium. They're like, please, God, please, Joe, please, don't mess this up. I've never seen so many liberals clutching for rosary beads that were not there. You know, even the Jewish liberals were like, give us a cross, we'll do anything. Please, Joe, don't mess this up. Now, happy Easter to all of you out there who are going to be celebrating it tomorrow. I've got bad news. The left is waging a new war. Apparently, the Easter Bunny causes climate change. Don't ask me to tie it together. And I've got a Passover message for two very special liberal congresspeople. First, Elijah Cummings, who is trying to thwart all of our freedoms, harass Darrell Issa, and target all of us. My message to Elijah Cummings: Elijah, on this Passover, take your cup of wine, W-H-I-N-E, because by the time we are done with you in 2014, your new name will be Elijah Gone. On Passover, people ask me my attitude towards Israel, and my response is simple. The country of Israel, I like it. Steve Israel, not so much. And my message to Congressman Steve Israel, who called us all racist: your new name, based on your level of tolerance, is Steve Saudi Arabia. Now, the reason I became a conservative is because I am the son of a Holocaust survivor. And when you are the son of a Holocaust survivor, you will not get an ounce of sympathy growing up for anything as long as you live. Teenage angst did not exist in my household. I remember at age 14, I tried to convince Dad that social studies class was too hard. He looked at me unsympathetically and asked, "Did the teacher try to shoot you?" I said, "No, Dad." He said, "Get upstairs. Books, learn, personal responsibility. No Victocrats in this household." Now, my parents are in South Florida. They had the butterfly ballot designed by the left, meant for the left, meant to elect conservatives. My dad looked at me in 2000 and said, "Son, if your mother and I ever get to the point where we can't figure out a ballot or we're too feeble to push the thing all the way through, son, at that moment we will have become liberals. Euthanize us. The house is yours." My parents are still complaining in South Florida. My dad's like, "We've got to secure the border." I'm like, "Dad, what have the Cubans ever done to you? They're conservatives. What's the problem? What do you have against Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz?" My dad said, "Son, I'm talking about the northern Florida border. The New York liberals keep coming." Now, I want to get it out of the way right now. Barack Obama, President Obama, is not my enemy. He is my opponent. I don't hate him. I disagree with him. I don't think he's evil. I just think he's fundamentally wrong on everything he's trying to do, and he doesn't know the difference between enemies and opponents. So how do you tell the difference? Simple. If you're a true enemy, Barack Obama will supply you with as many weapons as you need. If you're an opponent, he will confiscate your weapons. Now, one thing I want to say is I pray for the president. I prayed for him a few weeks ago when he had to be rushed to the hospital to have a cancerous tumor removed from his colon. Don't worry, it turned out just to be Chris Matthews and the rest of MSNBC. And I'm so glad on May 1st we will be celebrating the anniversary. I am so glad that Osama bin Laden is still currently burning underground with 72 Helen Thomases. Now, I wrote the book Ideological Bigotry. A couple of follow-ups afterwards, books and t-shirts. I recommend the books because they're more expensive. I'm going to leave you with identity politics because that's all the left has: gender and racial. Gender. My message to Sandra Fluck is simple. She is not a feminist hero. Real feminism is Sarah Palin, Michelle Bachmann, and Nikki Haley. So my message to all these fake feminists like Hillary Clinton, Wendy Davis, and Sandra Fluck and their phony war on women, I'm going to use very salty language. Men, cover your ears. To Wendy Davis, Hillary Clinton, and Sandra Fluck, take your phony war on women and shut the Fluck up. And I'll leave you with a piece of advice that Herman Cain gave me. It's something Barack Obama will never, ever understand. It is always better to have people ask, "Why are you finished speaking?" than "When are you finished speaking?" So I'm going to leave you with a Hebrew word. That word is hineni. It means here I am. Never give up. Never give in. Always fight for what you believe in. Never back down from a fight. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Bring a bazooka or a Predator drone if you have access to one, and if you do, the AG has paperwork for you to fill out. We are right. The left is wrong. We will win. They will lose. We will laugh and we will make them cry in 2014, 2016, 2020, and beyond, and have fun doing it. Live, love, laugh, win. Quack, quack, quack. Hineni, here I am. Happy, happy, happy. Conservative Tea Party. Proud of it always. Thank you so very much. God bless.
He rides the bus with us. We're in stitches all the time. It is really great. I mean, we got the singer with us. We've got it's pretty cool. We got a great family there. True the Vote's over here, guys. So you know all of these tables that you see over here. These people have been working their butts off, promoting really true conservative values. So when you get done here, make sure to go over and visit with them. Hey, I want to invite Jesse Lee Peterson back up here. Most of you know him, I believe, but you know, he's been in the trenches for over 20 years. I call the trenches really working it. You know, he's been fighting for conservative values forever. When we weren't even thinking about them, then when we were thinking we had them, he was fighting for them. So come on up, Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you, sir.
All right. We have to be out of here at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to ask the speakers to be sure to stick to 5 minutes and not 5 hours. My name is Jesse Lee Peterson, and I am an Uncle Tom. I am white on the inside, black on the outside, but 100% American. I love my country. I love it. I'm also a racist. I have a white racist working for me. He is my radio producer, and I'm going to introduce him to you at the end of this so he can run. But he's a known racist. I want to bring up Susan Shelley, candidate for California Assembly District 45. Hi.
Thank you very much. Well, it is so great to be here. I just have some good news for you. Would you like to hear some good news from the West San Fernando Valley? Yeah! I was speaking at Pierce College to all the political science classes about 2 weeks ago. And every year they do this twice a year, once in the spring semester, once in the fall semester. They bring somebody from each political party. They bring a Republican, they bring a Democrat, they bring someone from the Peace and Freedom Party, someone from the Green Party, and a Libertarian. And we all talk to the students and we all make our pitch for why we have the answers for what's right for America. And the Green Party and the Peace and Freedom Party were heckling me something fierce. They were not happy because the students were listening to conservative views. The students were with us. There's hope for the future. And at the end of the presentation, I made my closing remarks, and after an hour and a half of hearing how wonderful everything is in Cuba, where healthcare is free and all this stuff that the Green Party was saying, Cuba is such a wonderful place, I asked the students, by a show of hands, how many of you would rather live in Cuba than the United States of America? Not one hand. And why is that? Because Cuba's not a free country, and we treasure freedom in the United States of America. And what is freedom? Freedom is not a mystical thing that happens some places and not other places. Freedom is limited government. Freedom is what you have when you stop the government from doing things to people. Limited government is the structure that preserves our freedom. And that's why the Constitution is so important. I'm the author of 3 books on the Constitution. One of them is a history of the Bill of Rights. Let me tell you something about the history of the Bill of Rights. James Madison didn't think we needed one. He didn't think we needed it. He said, why prohibit something that there is no power to do? The Constitution doesn't give the federal government the power to do all these things. You don't need a Bill of Rights. And you know what the American people said? We don't believe you. And we want a Bill of Rights. And it was a condition of ratifying the Constitution out in the states that we have a First Amendment to protect freedom of speech, and a Second Amendment to protect the right to keep and bear arms, and a Fourth Amendment to prevent illegal searches and seizures. And you know something? We meant it then. We mean it now. The Bill of Rights is still in force. And we are going to stand up in America for our constitutional rights, for our freedom, for limited government. We're not going to let the government do whatever it wants to do, and then we have to ask permission. That's the exact reverse. We have the power, we have the rights, they are limited in what they can do. And the good news is, the voters are with us. Out in the West San Fernando Valley last year, in a district which is 2-1 Democrat, outspent 10-1. I came within 329 votes of a historic upset victory, and we are going for it again this year. And I need your help. If you want to volunteer, if you want to come out and walk some precincts with me, the door hangers are on the way, and we are going to knock on every door. We are going to call every voter. We are going to get out there and tell people that we want to live in freedom in the United States, and even in California, and even in Los Angeles. We want to live in a free country. That's where economic growth comes from. That's where jobs come from. Every statist society has failed economically because people need an incentive to set alarm clocks. And if you set the goal and you set the alarm clock, it's your money. It's not our national income, it's your income. And this idea of redistributing it in some manner that the government thinks is fair is un-American. And James Madison called it wicked. And he had a point. If you work, it's your money. And if you have the incentive, then people are an untapped resource of growth. Everyone in this area today has ideas of what they could do to make money, ideas that could make things better, and the government stops you from doing it because it's such a hassle to start a business. We are all an untapped resource. If we stick to limited government, we will have the economic growth that we always had in America, and we'll have the country that we want to live in freedom. It can be done. We're very close. We're very close in California. We're closer than you know. And I'd like to make a pitch for the Election Integrity Project. They have found that when they watch the elections, when they watch at the county offices in Norwalk, when they watch at the polling places, Republicans do about 10 points better. So I ask you to volunteer for the Election Integrity Project. If you don't want to walk precincts with me, you can go to Norwalk and watch ballots with them. It makes a big difference. We need honest elections. We have to talk to the voters, conservative ideas, freedom, constitutional government. We will win. We are winning. And I bring you an optimistic message. I look forward to your support. Thank you so much.
Okay. We are going to win because God is on our side. So we have no other choice but to win. I want to bring up John. Oh, let me ask you this first. Have you ever heard of Maxine Waters? Oh. The Wicked Witch of the West. Well, we have someone who is running against Maxine Waters this time around. And we're going to do all we can to bring Maxine back to South Central LA and set her down for life. I am done with Maxine Waters. John Wood Jr., candidate for U.S. Congress, California, 43rd District, is running against Maxine Waters.
How's everybody doing today? Well, it's a beautiful day to be out in California, to be out in America, and I just appreciate the fact that I get to share this space with you, so thank you so much. I'm not going to take too much time. I know I don't have too much time. Now, it is true. I'm running for Congress from 43rd District. I'm running against Maxine Waters. But my reasons for running against Maxine isn't because I have anything personal against Queen Maxine. I'm sure that she's a perfectly nice lady and so forth. Everybody's got their opinions. My thing is that I care about the future of the people in my neighborhood. I'm raising a family in the inner city. I've lived in the Jordan Downs projects in Watts. I know what it's like to live in South Los Angeles, in South Central Los Angeles. But I also know what happens when people don't listen to each other and aren't willing to have a reasonable conversation about what's right and wrong for the future of the American people. Because this is something that is drowning the people of the inner city in a poverty and a lack of opportunity and a hopelessness that keeps us from being able to look out at the land of opportunity and realize that anything we want to do with our dreams and with our abilities and with our potential, we can achieve, because that's supposed to be the nature of America and the American dream. But we don't believe that in many of our cities because we've forgotten the principles upon which this nation was built. See, many of the people who you know who are Democrats, many of the people you know who are liberals, many of the people you know who might lean socialist or socialistic in their policies and their political opinions, many of them are not part of a vast left-wing conspiracy. They think that the opportunities that America affords are limited. They feel as if there's only so much we can do to help people, and so you have to squeeze taxes out of people. You have to put in place regulations because our opportunities are finite. Our opportunities, our resources can only stretch so far. But it's because they've forgotten their history that they believe this. The United States of America was built on the notion that free people coming together, exercising their strengths, exercising their talents, could create prosperity. And that it is not by taking away the resources and the wealth of the people that you create prosperity, but by unleashing them to make the most of themselves, taking the artificial barriers of government intervention out of their way and allowing them to be who they are. That there's no limit to the dreams that the American people can achieve and accomplish. Liberals have forgotten this, but we must remind them. This is America. It doesn't matter whether you're a Republican. It doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat. What matters is that you believe in yourself and the Creator who made all men equal. We cannot enforce equality, but we can make sure that government does not stand in the way of it. That is what the Republican Party has done for years. That is what you must do if you want to bring this country to the fruition of the American dream, in which black and white and Democrat and Republican must all believe. And I pray that you support me in my effort to do that in South Los Angeles. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Thank you.
I know Maxine Waters, and I know niceness. Maxine Waters is not a nice lady. That's for sure. Let's see here. Reed Wilson, MD, cardiologist from Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, is coming up next. Come on down, Reed. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
I would have put on a white coat and dressed real nice, but we're exercising our Second Amendment right. A little later, we're going shooting on a range. And so I just have a bit of a question to ask the people in the audience. When most of you filled out your tax returns April 15th, how many of you just wrote a number down at the bottom saying like $100,000 refund, and then everybody in the press said, that's amazing? Well, that's what's just happened with healthcare, because the Congressional Budget Office, I've got 5 minutes to talk about 1/6 of the economy, so I'm going to be quick. The Congressional Budget Office said in order for the system to work, we needed to sign up 7 million people on Obamacare. And all of a sudden, the day after, 7.1 million people signed up for Obamacare. There's no literature, there's no paper. It's as if you just wrote your name down at the bottom and said 7 million. How many of those people were previously insured? How many of those people already had insurance? How many of those people were below age 35, from 18 to 35, or the young invincibles? Who were they? We don't know. The government doesn't know. The government website can't figure it out. We have to figure it out. How many of you go to a Dodger game and the announcer says Dodgers won and you don't even know anything else? You can figure out the box score. You look who got a hit. You look at the defensive play, who got an error. You can figure it out. Well, actually, some of the detail we can figure out. About 80% of people who previously have had insurance will pay for their insurance. So immediately 20% of the people who signed up for Obamacare are gone. You don't pay for it, you don't get it. If you previously haven't had insurance, about 57% of people will pay, the rest won't pay. So those people don't have insurance. It's estimated that roughly, given the best stats possible, 2 million people previously uninsured now have insurance. They told us that 47 million people did not have insurance. So we just kicked out our entire healthcare system for a 4% success rate. And we're going around the country saying, we won, discussion is over, global warming discussion is over, everything's over, we won. For 4%, 96% of the people we just destroyed our healthcare system for don't have insurance. They just came out yesterday and said that people from 0 to age 35, 35% of them are now are part of this plan. That's because the Congressional Budget Office told them the plan was a failure if it didn't get 40% invincibles. But the statistic was never 0 to 35-year-olds. It was 18 to 35-year-olds. And of those group, only 28% are in the plan. It's going to cost a fortune that they have no money for. And when they don't have enough money to pay for the plan, who's on the hook? The taxpayer is on the hook. It's not the insurance company. The worst case scenario cited by the Congressional Budget Office is 28%. It's a worst case scenario. We are in for very bad times. The only thing I'm going to leave you with here is there are court cases that challenge one thing. According to the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, the states have the right to form exchanges. You all know this. According to Obamacare, the taxpayer is on the hook for subsidies of those programs, but there's one qualification. They must be an establishment, they must take an exchange established by the state in order to get the subsidies. It says it not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 9 times in the Act. They must get the subsidies from an exchange established by the state. The president has enlarged the program. It's against the law. 34 states did not participate. 16 did form the exchange. So all those people who have been promised subsidies have illegally been promised subsidies, and that's going forward in the courts today. And that is what the next large case. Now, if Justice Roberts can finally get his head straight, he will finally follow the law, because it says 9 times this is how it has to be. You're going to hear a lot more of this in the future. I don't have much time. If you want to hear more about 1/6 of our economy, just let me know. Thank you.
I'm glad to have a heart doctor around this morning. Let's see here. Mark Eisler is next, and Mark is on a radio talk show host, AM 870 KRLA, right here in LA. Come on up, Mark.
Yes. Hey, I can keep to 5 minutes. No one's paying me for this. For those that don't know, I'm on every Saturday night, 9 to 11 on 870 KRLA. I also fill in for Dennis Prager, which many of you know who he is. When I was on a few weeks ago, we were shocked because I saw on the board it said Sarah Palin calling in. So I said to my engineer, I didn't want anybody to hear him. I said, yeah, right, you know. And we found out it was Sarah Palin calling in, just listening to the show, and she was terrific. And she's got castigated and destroyed in the press the same way the Tea Party has. It's no surprise what they've done to her. By the way, inside stuff, when she called up, my screener said to her, oh yeah, Sarah Palin, spell your last name, which I thought was pretty interesting. But it's good to be here at a meeting of the Ku Klux Klan. I say that, I spoke to Karen Kenney's group, the San Fernando Valley Tea Party group, and when I told one of my Democrat buddies from tennis that I was going to the Tea Party, he said, welcome to the Ku Klux Klan. But of course, he's never met any of you, never met any of us. And another friend said, Democrats, I have a lot of Democrats on my show, you may know. I have 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans in my second hour every week. But another Democrat said, do you know the problem with the Republican Party? The Tea Party. So I said, what's wrong? Tell me what's the problem? He couldn't name one thing. See, because we get destroyed all the time in the media. We don't have excellent spokespeople. And if you've heard my show, I'd get rid of Boehner, I'd get rid of McCarthy, I'd get rid of all 3 of them. They're awful. Because they can't express our views and our values and what it means to be a conservative, or what's special about American exceptionalism. So we need new people. By the way, I want to thank Karen, as I said, because there she is in the back, Karen Kenney, who sponsors our show and has done that for 2.5 years. And she does it because she's in the image of the founders. That's pretty important. So we have our leaders talking about the amnesty bill. By the way, Boehner's going to sell out come November. The story is out. He went to meet the president, and that's the one thing they agreed on. We don't need leaders like this who don't understand our principles and our values. And Marco Rubio and Paul Ryan, I've mentioned on my show, it just irritates me so much. Some of their comments, like Ryan's, they live in the shadows. And I say, let them come to California. Who lives in the shadows? What the hell is he talking about? The people who don't live the way we live in the real world, that we don't live like the people in Washington who have no clue. So as I said, I would take an unlimited amount of people from all over the world tomorrow if they shared our values, our principles, and our way of life and could defend our history. We love immigrants. We love immigrants who want to share in the American dream. And the Tea Party understands what makes America special. Limited government, low taxes, a belief in God. By the way, almost all the founders believed in God. This country has a Judeo-Christian heritage. That's what it's about. I had Bruce Hershenson on my show years ago. How many remember Bruce when I was on KBC? And I said, Bruce, do you think God was involved in the founding of the United States of America? And I had no clue if Bruce was a religious man or not. He always teaches me something. He said, Mark, did you ever think how young the founders were and that they got everything just about right? Yes, God was involved in the founding of this country. And many people don't understand that. There was a story, I don't know the country, where he built a fancy airport, better than any airport in the United States of America. And he thought that would duplicate America. But that's not what makes America great. What makes us great is our belief in liberty, out of many one. See, we don't oppose illegal immigrants because of anything to do with their race or nationality. We just want them to share in the American dream. So it's liberty, as Dennis always says on his show, out of many one. It's on all your coins, and a belief in God. So I want to make that clear that you guys, those in the Tea Party, understand what made this country so great. What makes our Constitution so terrific? What makes the Declaration of Independence so great? And here's what it is. I've started to say it. This was the first time in history that a group of people decided that we didn't need a king, we didn't need a tyrant, we didn't need a despot to tell us how to live. That when the state gives you your rights, the state could take it away. This was the first time that the people decided that they got their rights from God. And they didn't get their rights from the government. That's what made this country so special. That's what the Tea Party represents. That's what you guys stand for. I know my time is up. I finished my show. I hope you'll listen tonight. The same way every single week. It's a privilege to have a microphone in the greatest country in the history of the world. Until tonight at 9, God bless all.
Okay. I do a radio show Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time, daylight time. And starting May 10th, I'm going to be on KRLA. So check us out starting May 10th. From 2 to 3 p.m. 2 to 3. And we have some information on the table here. You see that Hispanic sitting at my table? He's a South Central LA Tea Party member. He is here legally. And he can help you out over there. We have some books over there and other stuff as well. Let's see here. Next is Mike Hoskinson. He's the co-organizer of LA/Santa Monica Tea Party. Yes, sir.
How do you follow that? I mean, all those people go, yeah, there's a good little tea party guy out there. You know. So I joined the Santa Monica Tea Party years ago. I forgot from Huntington Beach because we didn't have a good tea party there. But I think for a while that to have a tea party in Santa Monica is like having a USO meeting in Red Square in 1917. I mean, it's that revolutionary. It's an awesome group. LASMTparty.org. All of our guys in the front here, they're a great group. Come join us. So this morning I came here at 9 o'clock to set up everything. Drove from Huntington Beach, had to go to the bathroom, of course, because I had coffee jagged up. So I go in here, there's 1,000 people in line to get passports and do whatever it is that they're going to do. And I go right up to the cop, go to the authority, and I said, "Sir, where is the bathroom?" And he says to me, "There's no bathroom." I said, "What do you mean there's no bathroom? You got 1,000 people in the sun out here waiting because you got to provide that for them." He said, "No, we don't have a bathroom. There's one in the park, quarter mile down. You can go in the park." And I said, "And you guys want to run my health care? You're fired." So I want to talk to you a little bit quickly about something I've seen of late. And I want to ask you for a favor. So we all look at our neighbors and friends and all of our Tea Party folks and everybody that we talk to, and I notice there's a lot of us, we're fighting inside the tent a lot about a lot of things. And I want to tell you, the fight is outside the tent right now. The fight is liberal progressivism, which is modern communism. And we know what they are. Let's call them what they are. And I would never tell you that whatever your beliefs are not important. And I support everything you want to achieve. But I would tell you right now, in 2014 to 2016, every ounce of energy that we waste fighting each other on something that is not that thing outside the tent, the big issue, is a moment we lose fighting them. I've been fighting them directly in Huntington Beach. We got a bunch of them there. And I hit them in the nose, and when you do, they go away. They are paper thin. These people are diaphanous. So I would tell you, take every ounce of energy and focus it on those people, the ones that are blocking our freedom and they're stealing our freedom. Hit them in the nose, metaphorically, and put all your energy into that. And then when it's all over, we'll all have a party and we'll go back to talking about the things under the tent. So thank you very much. I appreciate everybody. Thanks so.
Thank you so much. I'm happy that how everybody's sticking with the time. I totally appreciate that. This next Tea Party is one of my favorites. Not only, I mean, it's not. I love all the Tea Party organizations, but this one is like a family. We've worked together for a long time. The founder is afraid to come up because he's so nice. Hey, John, just stand up there for a minute. That's John Pasniewski. He is the founder of the 405-605 Tea Party. Is your wife here too? Stand up, wife. Yeah. Those are some good folks. And I think your wife is from Russia or somewhere, right? Cuba. Not Russia. But John is not coming up, so we're bringing up Steve. Steve Makoski is going to speak for the 405-605 Tea Party.
Thank you, Reverend. Okay. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming here. Our 405-605 Tea Party is based out of Los Alamitos, the Long Beach area and such. We have a focus. We believe in prudent government, our Constitution, and also education. And I wanted to talk a bit about our education here right now. A lot of the liberals say that our Constitution is living and breathing. I want to read something to you. If, in the opinion of the people, the distribution or modification of the constitutional powers be in any particular wrong, let it be corrected by an amendment in way which the Constitution designates. But let there be no change by usurpation, for though this in one instance may be the instrument of good, it is a customary weapon by which free governments are destroyed. That is from George Washington in his farewell address. Our Constitution is not living and breathing. The other thing, California, for us to get California back, we've got to address the debt we are leaving our children, and we have to focus it that way. The Democrats are on a death march of debt and dependence on our children. We've got to stop them. They are claiming they had a $4 billion surplus this year. They've been claiming that. It would take 100 years of that surplus to pay off the debt that they've left our children. Do the math. The Achilles tendon of the Democrats is the debt they're leaving us. We've got to stop their financial extravagance. Right now, we've got people going around saying, I'll help the students get loans. There's a lady in the Hawaiian Gardens area that's saying, I'm going to help you get loans. She's going to help put all the people in more debt. We've got to stop this run of debt. We've got to make, as Tim Donnelly said, make California more business friendly. Right now, this is the worst state to do business in the union. We've got to stop running jobs out of the state. So what we're doing here, every meeting of our Tea Party, we have a keynote speaker. We're going to have Gina Loudon on the 27th, is it? And we've got a. Wait, who do we have on the 6th? Linda Payne with the voting group, and then we have a constitutional presentation that would last about 15 minutes in every one of our meetings. We're the 405-605 Tea Party. We've got a table back there. So, folks, please come and see us, and God bless America.
Okay, I just looked at the clock. All of these Tea Party groups in LA helped put this together, so I want you to remember that. We all made it work together, and I'm proud of that. Mark Santa Clara is not speaking today, but he is here. Wave your hand there. He's with Hancock Park Patriot. He's not speaking, but he is here. We're bringing up representatives from TPAC as well as California Tax Limitation Committee, Susan Swift. Come on up, Susan. Attorney General? Oh, attorney. You are an attorney and a journalist?
Well, yes, I am. I'll tell you all about me. I'll tell you all about me. Okay. And I will keep it short and sweet, just like I am, okay? I hope to, anyway. Thank you for waiting so long. Yes, I have been an actor. And then after I was an actor, I became a lawyer right downtown Los Angeles. And then I was elevated by marriage to the position of wife. And then God gave me the promotion of motherhood. And I have 7 children, and that is my permanent job right now. That's my day job. I'm a mom. But I'm here to tell you, other moms and dads and everyone else, what you can do to help right now. We've got Susan Shelley who's running. We've got John Wood who's running. We've got Tim Donnelly who's running. We're sneaking up on them. But in the meantime, we're still all living here in the People's Republic of California. And it's one-party rule, isn't it? Yeah. How can we break the chokehold of the Democrat Party? You know, the Democrats are called the party of tax and spend. I like to call them the party of tax enslave, because they are enslaving us with more and more debt, more and more taxes. They're shackles on our children. They're turning our children into slaves, debt slaves. It's not based on color anymore. It's based on whether you're working or not. And if you're a working person, you are now a slave to the government. And we have to break that power of government tyranny. How do we do it? Yes, we elect good conservatives, but it's real hard here in California because they got to be brave and we got to support them. In the meantime, there's another way that we can also help break the shackles of debt and slavery, and that is through the initiative process. Just like the IRS has targeted the conservative movement and Tea Parties especially, Lois Lerner, does it ring a bell? She's coming after us, the NSA, they all have us, right? They're weaponizing the IRS, they're weaponizing the tax code against us, against mothers and fathers who are working. What's our weapon? The initiative process. An initiative process is you and me getting signatures on local ballots at the city level, at the local level, even at the state level. And what we do is we put the laws on the ballot so that we can vote. We take the power away from the legislatures because all they keep doing is proposing more taxes. I have news for them. No more taxes. No more. Not new, just no more. I want my tax money back because every paycheck paycheck, my husband has to pay more and more, and the taxes keep going up and up. So I'm getting a pay cut, right? Because the government's taking more and more of our paycheck. It's time to give the government a pay cut. And that's the only way we make government smaller. We say you can't grow. What do you need to grow? Money. You can't have any more money. That's taxes. No more taxes. That's what initiatives do. The TPAC in Pasadena has already collected signatures from every regular people in Pasadena, South Pass, Arcadia, and my city, Glendale. And we have filed paperwork to repeal a local tax. Now it's called the UUT. That sounds like alphabet soup, right? UUT. What does that mean? That's the user utility tax. What's that? That's a little bitty slush fund tax that they put on top of your water and your power. Go home, look at your water bill, look at your electric bill. You're already paying for all the rate hikes every year, right? Then on top of the full freight you're paying, there's a little extra bar. Down at the bottom, it's a service tax, user utility tax. It's like 4% in Glendale, where I live, it's 7%. 7%. So every time your bill goes up for water and power, that 7% goes up too, doesn't it? And that means government gets more and more money without doing a darn thing. Where does it go? It goes into the general fund. What's the general fund? Oh, that's what they use to buy donuts for the union worker members. You know, they hire Susie Lipgloss to be the journalist to run down there and help the journalists. Whatever they do, they just grow government. They hire people out of journalism school, whatever they do. Here's how the local initiative process works. We file that in our cities, and we repeal that 7%. We say, no, you can't have it. And they start going, how are we going to do this? We're going to have to close the police. We're going to have to close the fire. We're going to have to close the libraries. They start threatening mothers. They start threatening fathers and start making us afraid to live in our country, in our city. They say, we're going to take away your fire and your police. Well, go ahead, try it. Because the first politician that takes away fire and protection from police and all of those things, they'll get voted out. That's how we make transparent how government's spending. Getting it on the ballot is what we need to do. TPAC has done that 4 times already, and guess what? They're doing it in Santa Monica. Find Dr. Shapiro. Where is Dr. Shapiro? Put up your hand. Dr. Shapiro where is he? Come on. Where is he? There he is. All right. This man, Dr. Shapiro, here's spearheading a new user utility repeal in Santa Monica. So we can take away 5 or 6% from Santa Monica. Hey, do you know how much government money is in LA County just on the user utility tax alone? Just that little bitty slush fund. How much is it? Do you want to know? $1 billion. Yes. $1 billion just in LA County alone. And if every city, of every 46 cities in LA County repealed their user utility tax, that alphabet soup tax on top of our water and electric, we would keep $1 billion of our tax money, and we would deny it to the growth of government. That's the only way you make government smaller, is you make it smaller. You take away their money. No more taxes. Give me back my money. That's what I'm here for, and that's how we mothers, that's how we fathers take back our country. Yes, we elect good people, but when we can't, we get into the streets and we get the signatures for ballot initiatives. You can contact TPAC, TEAPAC, just like it sounds, tpac.net. You can ask for Jim, and you can help Dr. Shapiro in Santa Monica get something filed. Like I said, we've got Glendale, Arcadia, South Pass, and Pasadena. We want to do all of LA County and Riverside and San Bernardino. And we're going to stop the growth of government, and you do it with local power, with you. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Barack Hussein Obama. Is Elon Carr here? No, he's not here. He's not here? Oh, good. Well, not good he's not here. It's because of time it's good. Elon Carr's not here. Oh, so this is me coming up next. Oh, I gotta do my thing. I'm just gonna take 2 minutes.
Yeah, afterwards. Yeah.
Right after I'm done, yeah. Yeah. The white man trying to keep the black man down.
Yeah, my brother.
Let me just say, the one thing I want to encourage you to do is have courage and no fear. You have to overcome fear. And if you believe in God, if you truly believe in God, there is no fear in you. And what our battle is a spiritual battle between good and evil, right versus wrong. And what the folks who represent evil have been successful at doing is to intimidate the children of God, and especially white Americans. They have used the word racism for the last 50 years or so in an attempt to control you by putting fear in you. And if you have that fear, you're never going to win this spiritual battle. Even with your children, if you're afraid of your kids, they'll put you out of your own home if you're afraid of him. And God said that we have to overcome fear. And the way that you overcome that fear is to let all anger go. Do not hold on to any bitterness at all. And if you let that go, then you will have courage. Elections are coming up the end of this year, and already they're starting to call the Tea Party racist. They're calling the conservatives racist because they know that you are afraid of that word. And if you're not afraid of it, it has no power at all. The power is in the children of God. You have to learn to speak up, but don't resent. Tell the truth, but don't resent. Do not hate, and I guarantee you we can win this battle. So to white Americans, if they call you racist, let them call you that. Just let it roll off your back. I've been called every name in the book. Uncle Tom, sellout, you hate your mama, you hate your daddy, you hate your color, you hate yourself, all kind of crap, right? But I don't care. I love what's right. I love my country. I love freedom. And I'm going to stand up for right, come hell or high water, even if I have to stand alone, because God is with me. And I know that he's with me. And he is with us. He's with all of you. Greater is he that's in us than he that's in the world. And so I just want to remind you of that, because they're already attacking with that word racism. They don't want us to talk about Obamacare. They don't want us to deal with all the things that has happened in our country under Barack Obama. They don't want us to talk about the scandals. And the way to try to shut us down is to call us racist. Let them call you that. Please, white folks, get over that fear. When God is with you, if they take away one thing from you, God is going to add greater things to you. Don't be controlled by material things, all right? Let them call you whatever they want, and we can win this. I'm telling you, I've had all kind of crap happen, but I'm a better man for it because I don't have resentment in my heart, and I thank God for it. We need Obama and Eric Holder and others out of the White House and out of the country, if we could throw them out of the country. I am sick of Barack Obama. I am just fed up to here. And things are worse than what we know. And I'm concerned that if we don't take over both houses at the end of this year so that we can slow the flow, we won't recognize America within the next 2.5 years. We will not recognize this country because this guy does not care about the Constitution. He is not a Christian. He is a liar. He is of his father, the devil. So if you're afraid of black people, just go over to them and tell them the truth and then just run. Just take off, right? Because the truth is from God and it will work on the person. You don't have to convince them of anything. Just tell the truth, but don't resent. I want to, before bringing Stuart up, I just want to thank my PR guy, Hermes. This is Hermes, the PR for Bond, for my organization, as well as the South Central Tea Party. And I want to thank all of the Tea Parties here in the LA area, 405, 605, Hancock Park, everybody. Thank you at NorCal, everybody. Who? TPAC, Santa Monica, everybody and their mama. I appreciate the way we all came together and worked together to support this Give Us Liberty bus tour. Thank you so much for that. Where's my racist producer? Come up, Jay, real fast. Producer! He's the producer of my radio show, Jesse Peterson, and he is a racist.
Yep, I am a racist.
He's a racist with courage and love. That's my PR guy. And a lot of South Central LA folks are here today. Thank you guys for coming. And ladies who are here today, I absolutely appreciate it. We have a table over here with books and things like that. And I'll be happy to sign it if you like. But thank you for coming out. This means a lot to me. And we're going to work hard this year to take back America and take back our freedom, all right? Tell the truth, tell the truth, tell the truth. Stuart is going to come up now. He has a few words to say. He's going to close us out with a prayer and whatever else he's going to do. Thank you so much, folks.
You know, I didn't know Jesse until about 4 years ago when I heard him first speak. He is truly a great man. He really is. I appreciate him. He's a man of God, and he lives his life for Jesus Christ. You can't be any better than that. That's so cool. You know, I've got a prayer here. Benjamin Franklin was one of the few founders who was not actually a Christian. He was a deist. But he had this great love for God, and you can see it in this prayer. This was spoken in 1747, and it relates so perfectly to what's going on today. So listen to the words; it's really important. May the God of wisdom, strength, and power, the Lord of armies of Israel, inspire us with prudence in this time of danger. Take away from us all the seeds of contention and division, and unite the hearts and counsels of all of us, of whatever sect or nation, in one bond of peace, brotherly love, and generous public spirit. May He give us strength and resolution to amend our lives and remove from among us everything that is displeasing to Him. Afford us His most gracious protection, confound the designs of our enemies, and give peace in all our borders. Is that perfect or what? Amen. Now, one of the things I was supposed to come up here to talk about was Convention of States. Has anybody heard of it before? Okay, so you have. We passed out cards for the website. You really need to go to that website. This is an actual revolution going on today. This will cause the greatest shift of power ever seen on this planet. This gives the opportunity for our states to come together in a convention according to Article 5 of the Constitution and amend the Constitution, or I prefer to say to restore our Constitution as our founders wrote it. So go to that website, take a look at it, become a part of it. We need everybody's help in this, because it won't be long before Washington comes after us when they realize we may be successful, and we will be with the help of all the citizens. Today we got our marching orders. We know what to do. We know we need to educate ourselves on who the candidates are, on what the propositions are. If you have a problem with them, get together with your neighbors and your friends, and then go vote and support these great candidates that we've had up here. These people are the future. These are the people we need to support. And like I said earlier, you can either pay us now or pay us later, because the communists are coming for us. Thank you so much. We really love you guys. You guys are the best. Thanks. All the speakers and folks that were involved in this event, please come forward. We want to get a picture of you guys up front here. Okay?
Hey man, this guy's okay, cool.
Okay, let's do this.